reality and I think, man, my estrogen must be out of control, my TRT is no longer working, or I need to buy that Viagra on that weird Dutch website. And then I leave on a holiday for a couple of weeks and I swear I'm barely sitting in the airplane next to my girlfriend and I'm already having a freaking erection. What's up folks, it's Uranus from Brussels. Welcome to another video. So you're on TRT, your testosterone levels are sky high, but your libido is completely dead. You'd rather play Warzone and watch TikToks than take your girlfriend for a ride in the bedroom. Don't worry, I got you covered, I've been there. We're gonna go over my blood work so I can show you my testosterone levels all year round, what exactly are the causes of your engine misfiring and what you can do about it. Alright, let's get to it. Before I talk about the possible causes of your low libido, here are my testosterone levels on 125 milligrams of testosterone enanthate per week. I've been on this dosage and this treatment for just about 6 years. Now, these days I test twice per year and I always test between 800 and 1200 nanograms per deciliter. My free testosterone is actually outside of the reference range, so it's supraphysiological. Both are high anyway. Now, why on earth would it be possible with such testosterone levels to still have low libido? Well, reason number one, and it's the most important one in my non-professional opinion, your estrogen levels are out of control, are out of range. Testosterone aromatizes into estrogen and we actually need that shit for our libido, our well-being, our bones, and so on. But if you have too much estrogen, your cock won't work. It's as simple as it is. Most men on TRT have their estrogen too high because they are on a too high dosage of testosterone replacement therapy. And in the end, being on a dosage that is too high can really mess with the benefits of TRT. Then you have the opposite too. Your estrogen levels are too low or completely crashed. Then you don't even have the time to think about sex because you're too busy thinking about ending your own freaking life. Crashed estrogen levels on TRT happen mostly because guys are getting aromatase inhibitors like Arimidex or Aromacin prescribed to them, and sometimes doctors are prescribing these like Skittles and you take too much and you crash your estrogen and then you really feel the effects of low estrogen on your freaking libido. And I've been there. I've been on AIs, I've been on TRT dosages that were way too high and I've experienced low estrogen and high estrogen. It's a very delicate balance between the two and the effects you can feel it immediately down there. For me, when my estrogen is out of range, the very first thing I will feel is that I lose my nighttime erection. That's the first indication that something is out of range. When I'm in the zone, I always wake up with a boner. Look, I'll give you another real life example. I have a gym buddy who's taking 1200 milligrams of testosterone per week. Now, not TRT of course, the motherfucker is blasting every single thing he can put his hands on. Well, he tells me when he's on a cycle and he's taking super high dosages of testosterone, his cock is completely dead and he doesn't have any libido at all. But then when he's completely stopping everything he's taking, he's walking with a boner 24/7. Now, the man doesn't know what aromatization is. When he finally stops his testosterone cycle, that is super high by the way, and he goes back to cruising on TRT, it takes a couple of weeks for the testosterone to leave his body and his estrogen levels to normalize. When the two finally balance out, he gets horny as fuck again. It's all about estrogen balance. Moving down to number two. Since you're on testosterone replacement therapy and your testosterone is no longer being naturally produced by your testicles, you no longer have that natural pathway of testosterone production and the byproducts like pregnenolone, progesterone and DHEA. That's why some men benefit from taking HCG on testosterone replacement therapy, because there you still produce a little amount by your own testicles and you have a boost in pregnenolone and progesterone, and some men actually need that. Some men need it for their libido and their well-being. Me, for example, I'm on HCG on top of my TRT. I've been on that for just about 6 years, and when I use HCG, I always have that little boost in libido because my testicles down there are actually working, and my ejaculation volume is also higher. It can also send my estrogen out of control. So it's really case by case. Personally, I've also tried supplementing with DHEA and pregnenolone, and it didn't have a significant impact on my well-being and my libido. What does have a significant impact, and which brings me to point number 3, is the human or mental aspect of libido, and this one is actually major or critical. If you're stressed all the time, you hate your job, you hate your life, you're half depressed, you have bad lifestyle habits, don't expect to be a love machine in the freaking bedroom. The daily routine of going to work and coming home can just be boring on you. In French we call it métro, boulot, dodo. Subway, work, sleep, and coming home to your girlfriend watching the 4th season of Friends for the freaking 16th time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have a problem with your estrogen or with your hormones, it just means that you're mentally tired. And I know this from my own experience. Living with me, it's always stress. Ask my girlfriend, if you're around me, there's always going to be stress, and sometimes my libido you see, sometimes my libido is dead because of the stress and the anxiety, and I think, man, my estrogen must be out of control, my TRT is no longer working, or I need to buy that Viagra on that weird Dutch website. And then I leave on a holiday for a couple of weeks, and I swear I'm barely sitting in the airplane next to my girlfriend and I'm already having a freaking erection. And I'm sorry for the old lady sitting in between us. Then I realized I can never show any holiday pictures to some of my friends or my family members, because the very first day when I'm visiting somewhere, I take more pictures of my girlfriend's ass than the actual scenery I'm looking at, you know, because when I'm on holiday, I'm on fire. My libido is always on fire. Then I get back to Brussels and it's métro, boulot, dodo. And then, you know, that's life, and libido and mental health, it goes together, and it's super important. Stress, anxiety, depression and mental health in general play a huge role on your libido and on your Johnson. Down to number 4, you're on medication or on drugs. By medication I mean you might be on SSRIs or antidepressants. Those can really kill your libido. There's blood pressure medication that might kill your libido. You might be on a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor like me, like finasteride, and that might kill your libido too. Even on TRT. If you have a history of substance abuse or alcoholism, these will also completely destroy your libido and your erection. So take care of yourself and get your shit together. Last one is not very frequent, but it can happen too. Your free testosterone is too low because you have high SHBG or sex hormone binding globulin. Basically, high binding globulin reduces the amount of testosterone that your body has readily available to use. High prolactin can also cause libido issues. Prolactin is the hormone that spikes just after you come, and it puts you in the so-called refractory period where your dick, well, doesn't work and you're not thinking about sex anymore. Now, you might have prolactinoma. It's a small benign tumor on your pituitary gland, and because of that you produce way too much prolactin. Now, like I said, those are really infrequent. Now, there are medications that you can take, but you really have to talk about your endocrinologist about this and see if there aren't any underlying issues. So those were the possible reasons for high testosterone but low libido. Also, not to neglect is that you should exercise, and you have to take care of nutritional deficiencies, for example vitamin D or zinc, vitamin Bs, and so on. Alright, ending it here. Leave me a comment to support my channel, subscribe, I'll catch you on the next video. Uranus out.